The oak does not curse the winter for stripping its leaves. It stands in silence, knowing spring has never failed to return. Many people spend their lives fearing the cold seasons of their story, never realizing that roots grow deepest when the world above is bare. Strength is not found in never falling. Strength is found in rising so many times that the earth itself remembers your name. An old saying might be, the river does not race the mountain, it simply keeps moving, and one day the mountain yields. There will come a morning when the battle you carry now will feel like distant thunder. Beyond the hills, you will look back and realize that the very things meant to break you become the stones upon which you stood taller. Do not envy those who walk easy roads. Easy roads make weak travelers. The steep path teaches the soul where its true strength lives. A sword is forged by fire, but a heart is forged by endurance. The sun does not announce its arrival. It simply rises. In the same way, your time will come. Not because you demanded it, but because you continued forward when others would have stopped. Remember this. The tree that survives the storm does not do so because it is harder than the wind. It survives because it learns when to bend and when to stand. Keep going. The chapter you are in is not the whole book. And somewhere beyond the horizon, the person you are becoming is already proud that you refuse to quit. There is an old tale that says a traveler once asked a wise man, "When does life become easier?" The wise man smiled and pointed toward the horizon. "Look there," he said. "Do you see where the earth meets the sky?" "Yes," the traveler replied. "Walk to it." The traveler frowned. "I can never reach it." Exactly. And the wise man, life is not about reaching the horizon. It is about becoming stronger with every step forward to it. Many people spend their days waiting for a season where there is no struggle, no uncertainty, no pain, and no fear. They believe peace is a destination hidden somewhere ahead. Yet the old souls understood something different. Peace is not the absence of storms. Peace is learning that the storm cannot own your spirit. The mountain does not apologize for being steep. The ocean does not apologize for being deep. The stairs do not apologize for being distant. Why then should you apologize for having challenges to overcome? An old poet once wrote, "The candle does not curse the darkness, it burns." There is wisdom in those words. The darkest may be vast, and might nay be long. The path may disappear beneath your feet, but a single light still changes everything around it. You do not need to illuminate the whole world at once. You only need enough light to take the next step forward, and then the next, and then the next. Many people mistake strength for hardness. They think strength means crying, never doubting, never feeling fear. But the oldest stories tell us otherwise. The strongest trees are not the ones that never smile or sway in the wind. They are the ones that bend without breaking. The strongest hearts are not those untouched by sorrow. They are the hearts that continue to love after disappointment, continue to hope after failure, continue to dream after loss. A warrior who has never known defeat knows little about courage. For courage is not born in victory. Courage is born in the moment when every reason to quit stands before you, and you choose to continue anyway. There's an old saying, the river cuts through the stone not because it's powerful, but because it is persistent. Think about that. The stone appears permanent, the river appears weak, yet given enough time, the river reshapes the world. So many people underestimate what they can become because they measure themselves by days instead of years. A seed does not become a forest site overnight. A sunrise did not appear all at once. A masterpiece is not painted in a single stroke. Great things grow quietly, slowly, patiently. The oak spends years becoming what the acorn could only imagine. And perhaps that is true for you as well. Maybe the person you are becoming is still hidden beneath the surface. Maybe your roots are growing where no one can see. Maybe the work happening inside you matters more than anything visible from the outside. Do not rush your growth. The stairs themselves needed ages to be born. Moments when others seem further ahead. Moments when life feels unfair. But comparison is a thief that steals joy from the present. Every flower blooms in its own season. The rose does not complete with the sunflower. The moon does not complete with the sun. Each shines when its time arrives. And your time will arrive too. Not because fortune suddenly chooses you, not because the world finally becomes easy, but because every challenge you endured quietly shaped you into something capable of carrying greater things. An old wanderer once said, "The road that tested me became the road that taught me." The hills taught him endurance. The rain taught him patience. The cold taught him gratitude. The distance taught him faith. In the end, he discovered that every hardship had carried a lesson hidden within it. The same way may be true of your own journey. One day, the struggles that seem endless now may become the stories that remind you how strong you really are. One day, someone else may be standing where you once stood, feeling lost and uncertain. And because you kept moving forward, you will have a light to offer them. You will be able to say, "I know this road is difficult. I know the night feels long. But I also know the sun still rises. Because it always has, and it always will." Remember this. The sky has never remained dark forever. Winter has never defeated spring forever. The tide has never refused to return forever. And no chapter, no matter how difficult, lasts forever. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to be tired. But do not mistake a resting place for the end of the road. There is still beauty ahead of you. There are still people you have not met, memories you have not made, laughter you have not heard, sunsets you have not watched, victories you have not earned, and versions of yourself you have not yet become. So walk forward, even if your steps are small, even if the path bends, even if the horizon remains distant. Keep walking forward, for the mountains are climbed one step at a time. The oceans are crossed one wave at a time, and a meaningful life is built one day at a time. And the old poet knew a secret. The purpose of a journey was never to become someone else. The purpose was to discover who you were all along. So lift your eyes, carry your hope, and guard your kindness, and keep walking. The world has seen countless storms, yet every morning without fail, the dawn returns, and so will your brighter days. The dawn returns. It always does. And if you stand long enough beneath the sky, you begin to understand something that many people spend their entire lives searching for. The darkness was never your enemy. It was your teacher. A man who has never walked through darkness can admire the light, but he can never truly appreciate it. The warrior who has never lost a battle may understand victory, but he will never understand its value. The heart that was never been broken may know happiness, but it cannot yet comprehend gratitude. That is why the strongest souls are often the gentlest. They have seen enough pain to understand the importance of kindness, enough loss to understand the value of love, enough storms to appreciate a quiet morning. There's a saying an old shinobi might tell his student while staring into a campfire beneath the stars. The fool believes power is the ability to destroy. The wise know truth power is the ability to endure. Many chase strength. Few understand it. They imagine strength as standing above others, conquering others, defeating others. But those who have lived long enough to know that the hardest battle was never against another person. It was against the fear inside their own heart, against doubt, against regret, against the voice that whispers, "Give up." Every person carries a battlefield within them. Some wars are fought with a sword, some with fist. But the greatest wars are fought in silence, where no one sees the wounds and no one hears the struggles. Yet every day you rise, every day you continue despite your fears. You are winning a battle that many people never even acknowledged. An old warrior might laugh and say, "People speak of destiny as thought it is written in stone, yet stone itself bends the time." Think about that. The mountain seems eternal, yet rivers carve through it. The mightiest tree falls one day. The greatest empire fades. Nothing lasts forever. Not pain, not fear, not hardship. The very things that seem impossible today are often the things that become distant memories tomorrow. Madara might have looked across the battlefield and said, "Weakness is not failing. Weakness is believing that because you fail, you cannot rise again." Because failing is a part of every journey. Even the strongest stumble. Even legends fail. Even heroes lose their way. What separates them from everyone else is not perfection. It is persistence. When the world told them to stop, they looked and took another step. When fate closed the door, they searched for another path. When hope became difficult to find, they become their own source of light. And perhaps that is what life is truly about. Not becoming invincible, not becoming perfect, but becoming the kind of person who keeps moving forward no matter how heavy the burden becomes. Jiraiya would probably smile and shake his head before saying, "A story without hardship is a story no one remembers." At the time, the pain feels unfair. The struggles feel endless. The losses feel unbearable. Yet years later, those same moments become the chapters that give the story meaning. The scars become proof that you survived. The failures become proof that you tried. The tears become proof that you cared. And the fact that you are still standing because proof that you are stronger than you realized. Look at the moon. It shines brightly, yet half of it is always hidden. People are the same. Everyone has a hide they keep in darkness. A battle they fought alone. A wound they do not show. So be kind, not because the world always deserves kindness, but because you never know which soul is carrying a burden heavier than your own. There is greatness in compassion. There is strength in mercy. There is courage in choosing peace when anger would be easier. The older I imagine a warrior becoming, the more I imagine him speaking less about victory and more about purpose. Because eventually you realize something. The goal was never to become the strongest person in the room. The goal was to become someone who could walk through hardship without losing their humanity. Someone who could face hatred without becoming hateful. Someone who could face darkness without becoming darkness. Someone who could suffer and still choose kindness. That is a strength few ever achieve. And when your final days come, no one will remember every battle you won. No one will remember every argument you conquered. No one will remember how many times you've proved yourself right. They will remember how you made people feel. They will remember whether your presence brought warmth or fear, hope or despair, light or shadow. So walk your path with your head high, not because you know where it leads, but because you trust your ability to keep walking. The stars above you are ancient. The mountains before you are vast. The road ahead is uncertain. Yet your spirit has survived every difficult day you have ever faced. Every single one. And that means there's already proof inside you that you can survive whatever comes next. So take another step, then another, then another. And if the world asks why you keep moving forward, smile like an old sage and answer, because the story is not over yet.